Welcome. How are you going today? It is so great to be here. My name's Tori, if we haven't met before. I'm Tori Vallon. I'm a women's integrative nutrition and lifestyle coach. I'm also a functional weight loss specialist. This is the stuff that I love talking about, by the way, hormonal belly fat, weight loss, all that kind of stuff, because I'm an expert in it. All right, let's dive into today's topic. We're talking about something that every woman over 40 knows all about. The stubborn belly fat. It wasn't there when you were in your 30s, but now it's starting to build up. And it's this type of fat that seems to just hold on, no matter how hard you train, no matter how much you restrict your food, no matter how many crunches you do and all the ab work. And I know you guys do that and you're trying so hard, but I want to be really clear about something straight up. And that is, this is not a laziness thing. It's not that you're undisciplined, and it's not that you eat too much. Yeah, you're so welcome, Chris. Um, so the reason why crunches won't fix it and all of the exercise doesn't fix it is because none of those things address what's driving the fat in the first place. So by the end of this session, you're going to understand exactly why it all happens, and you'll also know what's actually going to work to fix it. So kicking off, the first piece I want to share with you, belly fat is not a fitness problem, not an exercise problem. You probably thought that you needed to exercise it off though, and do a few more sit-ups and do the abdominal work and maybe burn more calories than you eat and just really put in some work. The problem with all of that is that crunches don't burn belly fat. They never have. They didn't earlier in your life and they don't now. They do build muscle. So I'm a fan of doing the ab work for sure, because building muscle in our core is a good idea. But you can't reduce the fat there by doing that. Spot reduction of fat is not a thing. Did you guys know that? You can't choose an area on your body and exercise off the fat there by working with a PT. Okay? The truth about all of this is that belly fat's a metabolic problem. It's a hormonal problem. Your body's just kind of like following a set of instructions here. And the instructions it's receiving right now is store fat around the middle. That's what she needs. And we'll talk about why that is, but you can't exercise your way out of a hormonal imbalance. The strategy you choose has to match what the problem actually is. The strategy has to match the mechanism. And the mechanism, my dear friends, is hormonal. It's hormonal. So that's why the harder you try, the more stuck you feel, the more frustrated you get, because you're trying to apply a fitness problem to a hormonal problem, and your body is just going to keep pushing up against this resistance. Your body is not actually working against you here, by the way. Your body is an intelligent machine that is designed to respond to the environment, given whatever signals it's receiving. And if you change the signals, your body will change too. I hope that makes sense. Change the input, you'll get a different output. Can I just get a thumbs up in the comments if that makes sense? Change the inputs, you'll get a different output. Change the inputs, you'll get a different body shape. Can you give me a thumbs up if you understand that? I'm going to break it down for you, but just let me know that you're following so far. We've got 6 people here with us, so I'm hoping to see a few little thumbs ups or a little emoji letting me know you understand that. We have to change the inputs, right? All right, there's always a little bit of a delay with the comments coming through, so I'll be patient and wait. So I want to talk to you about the hormonal drivers behind this belly fat problem. There are 3 main ones that I want to talk about right now. And number 1 is insulin. Okay, so insulin is a fat storage hormone. When insulin is elevated all of the time, Francine's with me, great. When insulin, and Francine's heard me talk about this so many times, and she's back for more, which is amazing. Francine's in sponge mode. She's just ready for all of the education. So when insulin is elevated all of the time, which is going to happen if there's poor blood sugar regulation in the body, there's a lot of packaged and processed foods, or maybe we're not eating on a regular basis, then your body is going to have that fat storage mechanism is going to be switched on, particularly for visceral fat. When I say visceral fat, I mean fat that gets stored centrally around your organs. Visceral fat is organ fat. And if elevated insulin doesn't only cause you to store fat, it also prevents you from releasing fat. You actually cannot burn fat in the presence of high insulin. It's just biochemically not possible. This is not my opinion here. That's just how a human body works. So you must address insulin resistance if you want to release the belly fat, and there's no other way around it. So the second driver I want to talk about is cortisol, and everyone knows about cortisol because it gets a lot of press. But what most women don't realize about cortisol is it's not a bad hormone at all. It's actually a very good hormone. But cortisol is a primary driver of central belly fat. So you've got to understand how to create good cortisol rhythms in your body. When we have dysregulated cortisol rhythms in the body, when we have cortisol at the wrong time of day, when we have cortisol which is not supplying the body with the energy that it needs, it is, the word is lipogenic. It's directly lipogenic. It is telling your body to lay down fat, and it's telling your body to lay it down in your midsection. So what's causing this dysregulated cortisol rhythm? Well, too much stress, and I don't just mean mental and emotional stress. Well, Francine asks, is there a difference between men's belly fat and women's belly fat? There are a lot of similarities. There's a lot of overlaps, okay? But women have a different hormonal profile, and I specialize in women's hormonal profiles, and I don't specialize in men's hormonal profiles. A long, long, long time ago, I tried to help some men lose their belly fat. It wasn't as much fun. It wasn't my favorite thing. And so for the last 10 years or so, I just work with women. That's my favorite thing. And so this dysregulated cortisol is lipogenic. It's causing the body to lay down that fat. Now, why have we got this problem with cortisol? We don't have the right cortisol rhythms. Well, it's stress, it's crappy sleep, it's too much exercise in some cases. It is women under eating is causing issues with cortisol, right? The too much exercise is actually making the problem worse and not better. I'll come back to that. So I just want to talk about thyroid for a moment, because this is the third driver that I wanted to talk about. An underactive thyroid, an underperforming thyroid, suppresses your basal metabolic rate. And you can't tell this by going to your doctor and having your doctor run a couple of standard markers. You know, they typically just run TSH, or if you're lucky, they'll run TSH and T4. But what we really want to know is what's happening beyond that. How is your body converting the T4 that you're making into free T3? Because if we have poor conversion, that means we've got a slow metabolism. We're not going to have as much fat burning. That's the simplest way that I can put it. And central weight gain is classic presentation of subclinical thyroid dysfunction, or even overt clinical thyroid dysfunction. But for many, many women, when they're told, well, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid, perhaps what a doctor really means is you don't meet the criteria for a clinical diagnosis of suboptimal thyroid or hypothyroidism. But you could have subclinical thyroid dysfunction, right? It's still not optimal, right? And we want optimal. Okay? So those three things that I've just talked about there, I talked about insulin, I talked about cortisol, and I talked about thyroid. See, they don't work in isolation. All of these particular things, and they're not the only drivers, but they're just three I want to talk about today because they're some of the main ones that I see. They don't work in isolation. The insulin resistance that's going on in your body is contributing to the cortisol dysregulation. And your dysregulated cortisol rhythms is contributing to your sluggish thyroid. and then your sluggish thyroid is worsening the insulin resistance. Do you see how you can't just take an individual approach and go, oh, I saw that my friend is selling these, I don't know, happy weight loss drops and they lower cortisol, so that'll help me get rid of my belly. Well, it doesn't work like that, because all you're doing is looking at one factor, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, probably doesn't work, because you actually have to address all of the drivers of that dysregulated cortisol. And you don't just want to categorically lower it, you want good rhythms of cortisol. You see, so taking that individual approach, you can't really DIY this. It's not really going to work. You have to take the holistic approach, and you need support to do it. If you've just joined the call, please let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know your name. If we're new to each other, please let me know. Say hi so I can welcome you to our community. If we already know each other, if you're doing Radiant Health Reset, please say hi. You're welcome to share some of the great wins that you've been having since you've been doing Radiant Health Reset. All right, so some of the things we're doing that are making the problem worse: too much exercise. That actually contributes to these dysregulated cortisol rhythms, and it can be breaking down your muscle tissue if you're going on too long with it. For sure, exercise has a place, of course, in the Radiant Health Reset. We talk a lot about the right level of exercise, the right type of exercise for a given individual at this stage of their life. But doing like an hour on the stair machine, if you are over 40, if you're perimenopausal and you've got belly fat, you're going to make this problem worse. Hey, Teresa, it's so nice to meet you. I believe you're new to our community. I haven't seen you here before. It's so nice to have you. Letting you know I'm running a free challenge next week. If you'd like to join in, you just let us know in the comments and one of my team members will reach out to you. It's called the Peri Weight Loss Challenge. So if you're wanting to actively take action towards getting rid of your belly fat, please join us. My challenges are super fun and there's so much value. All right, so too much exercise is making it worse. Caloric restriction, restricting your calories. Sometimes restricting your calories looks like intermittent fasting. I always do this, quotation marks, when I talk about intermittent fasting. I'm not really a fan of intermittent fasting for women when they first come to me when they're struggling with weight, because all it does is contribute to that dysregulated cortisol rhythm. I know what Dr. Mindy Peltz says, but I differ from her opinions. I'm sorry. She says some good things and she says some things that are a little misguided. It's not as simple as that. Your body can't tell the difference between your intentional intermittent fasting and a famine. It feels the same. And so I would do it differently. I do it differently with the women who come to me. Intermittent fasting is a wonderful tool, and we keep it in our toolbox. We bring it out at the right time. If you're coming to me struggling with belly fat, now is not the right time for intermittent fasting. It's as simple as that. And if you want to know a little bit more, oh my goodness, Becky's just arrived. Hi, Becky, darling. It's so good to have you here. Becky's going to come on and do the challenge, right? You're going to do the Peri Weight Loss Challenge with me. Becky's done my challenges before. She knows the drill. We have a lot of fun. It's very high energy, so much value. So skipping meals is contributing to this problem. You know, women who go like, oh, I don't really have time for breakfast, or I don't eat breakfast because I'm intermittent fasting. There it is again. This caloric restriction can look like so many different things. It can look like dieting. It can look like carnivore. It can look like keto. It can look like intermittent fasting. At the end of the day, it's all the same damn thing to your body. Not enough calories going in. And it feels like a good approach, doesn't it, to lose your belly fat? Because we were always told, if you just eat less and you exercise more, well, then you're in a calorie deficit, and the only thing your body can do is burn calories. But I'm willing to bet a bunch of you here on this call right now have tried that and it doesn't bloody work, and it only makes it worse. Can you please let me know in the comments right now? Have you tried that? Exercising harder and intermittent fasting, or skipping breakfast, or whatever you want to call it, eating in a calorie deficit. Have you tried it? How did it work out for you? I'm assuming not so well, because you're here wanting to learn about hormonal belly fat. Okay, Chris did intermittent fasting for 10 years. It was good, but this year need breakfast and have a bigger abdomen this year. Yeah, intermittent fasting probably did work earlier in our lives. when we reach perimenopause, the hormonal landscape is different. It's not going to work for us now. It's going to actively work against us. All right. For women, it works for, I'm going to say they're in the minority, and also there are problems being caused with the metabolism and with their hormones that just have not been revealed yet, but will. Okay. So what actually works? If all those things don't work, yeah, Francine, you probably tried something out a very long time ago. You know better now, darling, that you're working with me, don't you? All right, so I want to talk about what's actually going to work for you. What actually works is not doing any of that other stuff. So drop all of that. Yes, building muscle is good. So I encourage building muscle. I encourage blood sugar stability. I encourage eating quite a lot through the day. And those women who've come to me for Radiant Health Reset, when they look at the meal plans and they go, oh my God, that's a lot of food. That's so much food. But this is how it works. We eat more, but we lose weight. For those of you who are doing Radiant Health Reset with me, I'm sure you can attest to this. We eat more, but we lose weight. Because we're stabilizing our blood sugar. It's very important if you want to lose that belly fat. It's a foundational lever for us recovering from insulin resistance, actually, and recovering from the cortisol dysregulation. So that's the other step we have to take, is we have to start to regulate those cortisol rhythms. Welcome if you've just joined. I can see more and more people coming on live. It's so good to have you here. Please type your name in the comments. Let me know where you're chiming in from. And don't forget to join my free challenge I'm running next week, the Peri Weight Loss Challenge. So we've got to regulate our cortisol through better sleep, through managing our stress. We talk about that a lot in Radiant Health Reset, managing our stress. We have our tools and we reach for our tools regularly. We know which ones to use for which situations. We've got to be strategic about the movement we use as well. Yeah. We also want to be understanding the thyroid, nourishing the thyroid properly. And very few women have been nourishing their thyroid as they should be. Okay. If your thyroid is not converting well, if your thyroid is not nourished, yeah, Leandra's saying it's so much food, but it's so, so good, and I'm losing the weight. Yeah, Leandra's so new. 2.2 kilos down in a week, darling, is massive. And this is great for Leandra because she was really looking for that way to have that healthy eating and the accountability, and now she knows how because she's been given the system that works. I'm so glad it's working for you, darling. We love having you in our community. Right, so the empowering flip about all of this is that belly fat, it can go down. We can get rid of it. It's a wonderful way of your body talking to you. Your body's telling you about these hormonal imbalances and these systems that are dysfunctional right now. This is the body's most intelligent way of telling you, I need you to change. I need you to give me different inputs here, okay? And if you change the inputs, I promise you'll get a different output, okay? So this is what I want you to walk away from today. And this does work, my friends. We have Sarah in Radiant Health Reset, who she said on Friday, I have not been this weight in 25 years. She just squeezed into her 20-year-old daughter's size 8 jeans. Isn't that fantastic? I just love that. We've got Becky, different Becky from the Becky who's here in the comments today. We've got another Becky. Becky dropped 2.5 centimeters off her hips in just in this past week gone. And the bloating that she's had, which she said she's had for over 9 years, is gone. Completely gone. Nothing worked before to get on top of her bloating, and now it's gone. We've got beautiful Rebecca. We've got Becky and Rebecca. It's a beautiful name. That's why there are so many people with that name. We've got beautiful Rebecca, who, when she came to me, she really wanted to lose that meno belly that she was carrying around. She managed to completely change her body composition. She went from struggling with confidence through to feeling so confident in a little black dress, and I had the pleasure of meeting up with her. She lives on the Sunshine Coast, and she came out in this little black dress, and she just looks so fabulous, and I'm so happy for her. She has the confidence and the fitness to really live her life to the fullest now, and boy, is she. We've got beautiful Jennifer who joined us recently as well. She's often on these calls. She's joined the Radiant Health Reset. She's watching her belly fat melt away. So, you guys, you got to join the 5-day perimenopause challenge, because I'm going to give you the exact framework that helped these women like Rebecca, like Becky, like Leandra, who's here right now, like Francine, who's here right now, like hundreds of women who've been through my programs and they have shed their belly fat. So you please make it clear. Please comment challenge in the comments, all right? And I will get a team member to send you everything that you need to join us in the challenge starting next week. It's super fun. It's high energy. You get a sample meal plan. Women just love my meal plans. Like, they really, really love them, and the family loves them too. And there's no reason why your family can't join in with you and eat all these recipes too. So let me leave you with this. I want to see lots of comments. Challenge, challenge, challenge. Yeah, come join me. It's going to be so fun. Yes, Chris is in. So good to have you. Okay, comment challenge. I'll get my team to send you everything you need. But the one thing I want you to take with you today as you leave, I want you to remember that your beautiful body loves you. Teresa's in for the challenge too. Woo! It's free. Why not? Your beautiful body loves you. It's always working with you. I know it doesn't feel like it, but once you learn how to listen to your beautiful body and respond and give it what it needs, everything changes. You don't need to resort to those crazy peptides that are going to destroy your metabolism. There's no need for that. We can do this by partnering with our body, your beautiful, intelligent body, your oldest friend. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, beautiful women. I cannot wait to see you inside the challenge. See you then. Bye now. Bye. Thanks, everyone.